let you speak for the next half an hour. Go for it.
Okay. Generally, I work with teenagers and adults, and of course, I'm trying to create something unique, gripping materials for them. And I create quizzes for my students, and it's a long process, of course, but I enjoy it. And just a few words how I make it. I download a film, divide it into pieces, parts, 4, 5, or 6 parts, and prepare various tasks like make up general questions about the plot, listening comprehension, vocabulary, and grammar exercises. I upload parts of the video with the tasks on my server and give special access for my students. And technically, probably it sounds really complicated, but it's great because you can study, do the quizzes online using like everything you want to, a smartphone, tablet, or laptop. And a couple of months ago, I watched some episodes of the Vampire Diaries that you mentioned before. And truth be told, I absolutely, I was head over heels in love with one of the main characters. And back then I got a virus and I was so sick. And I made up my mind to start watching the entire season. And having finished season 1, I moved to season 2, and it turned out to have seen all the 8 seasons. And once I had small talks with my students just at the beginning of our classes, and I mentioned about the vampires, and I even showed some clips with cliffhanger. And I was so surprised to hear that my students would love to watch to continue watching this TV show. And recently, another brilliant idea has crossed my mind. The idea of preparing exam tasks based on the TVD, on the Vampire Diaries, for those students who are going to take an official exam. Here in Russia, at the end of the school year, students in the 9th and 11th grade have to take 4 exams. Russian and math are must taken, and 2 other subjects for their choice. And some teens, especially among my students, they prefer choosing an English exam. That's why I started creating tasks that are required for the format of the exam, of the official exam.
I might just quickly stop you there. For those of you who have never watched it, and I have not watched it either, what is the Vampire Diaries about? Because the moment that you said vampire, the moment you wrote it in our conversation, TBD, I was like, no, sorry, no, I'm sort of lost here. You're gonna have to expand on it. And then you wrote it. TBD is the Vampire Diaries.
Mhm.
So what is the Vampire Diaries about?
I would say that is about love, adventure, passion, and love triangle as well. It's really, yeah,
Love triangle.
love triangle, right?
I'm out of it. Like I said, I'll be back in half an hour. I'm gonna let this tape roll as long as it wants to roll, and you call me in half an hour and we'll be finished then. But look, the Vampire Diaries, when you say it to me, I thought the first thing that came to my mind was that what was it? There was a series of films, or was it something which with about a vampire and a werewolf? Do you remember what I'm thinking?
You mean Twilight? You mean?
Yes, that's it. I thought you meant Twilight. I actually thought you meant Twilight, but it turns out that the Vampire Diaries, yes, here Tommy is giving you a public service announcement. He's not as clever as he looks. Which character did you fall in love with, by the way? Let me guess. No, without you telling me, it must be the head vampire. What's his name? The dude who looks relative. The dude who I guess all women would fall in love with. I'm just gonna quickly do a search on him.
Yeah.
It must be Ian Summerholder, played by Damon Salvatore. Is that the one that you found?
Exactly.
Oh, there she is. There you go. We've got to our guest's part here.
And
I
how
won't-
did you guess, by the way?
Well, because it's usually, well, I mean, no. I'm looking at the characters and the way they look, the way the characters look here, and it's either him.
You know, there are two teams, like Stefan team and Damon team. And fans, yeah, they divide, they were divided into two groups, like Salvatore or Stefan Salvatore team,
Yeah.
or Stelena, yeah, and Delena.
Oh, they gave themselves names as well.
Right, yeah.
What's that about? Let me guess. Let me just really. I'm just gonna guess this. Damon and Stefan Salvatore fall in love with the character played by Nina Dobrev.
Right, yeah, she's Bulgarian.
Yeah, and I guess that's.
But why? Why?
Well, I mean, just guessing from it because she's good looking. I mean,
No, that's not enough.
That's not enough. Oh, I'm sorry. She's born in my year, but technically speaking, she's
It's
not.
something more intriguing, yeah.
Something more intriguing about this woman, apart from the age, she's 35 years old.
So they are vampires. It means that they lived, that they have lived for, oh my God, for more than 100 years, yeah? And they fell in love with the girl whose name was Catherine, and she was a dead ringer of Elena. Elena is her doppelganger.
Okay.
So it means that she looks like Catherine, like the girl. They were both in love in the past.
Yeah. Okay, so you are creating at the moment content to do with the TVD, if you want to call it that way, but Vampire Diaries. I like the way that you call it. Well, during our chat, TVD. Very short, very to the point.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who are not in the know, then you'll never know, like me. But you're creating content based on this TV series. Is it? I guess it's so that you help your year 9 and year 11 students to get through their English exams.
Yeah, and they love it. They are into it. And truth be told, I was really surprised that they supported me in this idea, because when I shared my thoughts about the possibility of creating something based on this TV show, yeah, they were really they were glad, and for sure now they're they want more. And the only thing that I'm lack of time, because I need to do these tasks, and yeah, that's something that I need time for. And for sure I use different tools and resources, and I'm sure you are quite aware of them, like Wordwall or Twee, yeah, many other things.
Is this series, the Vampire Diaries and maybe the Black Mirror, are these quite popular in Russia at the moment? Are they a popular series, or is there something, or is there something about these two series that apart from you liking them, obviously, that's not. Are they something that you guys in Russia quite popular? And don't shoot me down at any point here, because we only hear bad things about we only hear only bad things about Russia in the press. And we don't want to go anywhere near that, because that's politics. That's a completely different place, completely different time, completely different podcast. So, are these series liked, are these series liked in Russia, or is it just because you like them a lot that you decided that you would create content based on these different series?
Well, I would say they're quite popular for sure, definitely. But again, when I create something, I need to like it by myself, firstly. And if I like it, of course, I mean, other people, my students will like it too. Of course, I'll convince them, persuade them, and I'll do all my best to go to straight length, just to do everything, yeah, I can, just to motivate and to engage them in the process of learning. And as I already said, I'm a learner, and when I create something, I feel like I can learn something new all the time. Of course, yeah, when I watch a TV show, oh my God, there are so many words, unknown words. And of course, I can guess from the context, but it's in my like passive memory, right? Yeah, can I say so? And if I want to make it active, of course, I need to read. I need to do lots of different exercises just to have practice with these vocabulary. And I like it. I feel, yeah, I need to, like, I'm a person who needs to create something new again and again. That's why, when I worked as a teacher in a language center, 5 years or 6 years ago, and I had to work with with the course books only, and I felt depressed and I felt burnout from time to time, and I couldn't explain back then. But now I understood that it somehow was connected with the materials as well. And for now, being a freelancer, that's good, opportunity, great opportunity. Again, thanks to the internet and online resources that we are so happy, yeah, to communicate with people from all over the world, and just to have practice, and even just to surround ourselves in the how to say, in the language, yeah, in the
Yeah, the target language.
yeah.
And
Because people say that, or if you have never been like in England or in America, you can speak American English, or you can speak English, or you don't know the language. And but for me, it sounds really weird. Yeah.
have you ever been to America or to the UK?
No, unfortunately, no. I've never been. I never been to an English-speaking country.
And yet here is Mythbuster herself, Mrs. Mythbuster, coming to you.
Of course, I have a desire. Yeah, I have a burning wish.
What I mean here is that you are a living proof that you do not necessarily need to be going, that you
Right.
don't necessarily need to live in an English-speaking country to be able to speak English. Because as you can hear, dear listeners, our guest today, she can speak English. She's coming to you live here on the airwaves, and she can speak English. It's not like we're speaking Russian to each other, because I wouldn't be able to speak a word. Maybe I might be able to say hi, thank you. Do you speak Russian? And that's it. And we wouldn't be able to put a conversation together. But we are having a conversation here, despite Raisa never having the chance to live in an English-speaking country, which leads me to the question, and I think you were about to tell me anyway, before I cut you off here. Which English-speaking country would you like to grace with your amazingly pink hair and those pink fingernails? Are they real? I'm just going to ask you. Are those real fingernails that you've got?
Yes.
Those are real fingernails. Wow. Listeners will not be able to see them, but they are purple and they match perfectly, almost perfectly, with her pink hair. So go on, tell us which English country you would like to go to.
Oh, that's so tricky.